hear in the background. It sounds like a little mouse rustling through a paper bag, doesn't it? How are we all? Hope you're all well. Thank you very much for coming over and joining us for our Sunday Lunchtime Live. Sorry about that. I don't know why it played the Friday Night Live. Obviously, it's got the Friday Night Live put in the stream deck. I don't know. But anyway, we are here for another Sunday Lunchtime Live. Bit of fire, bit of flames, bit of smoke. Hopefully, we're not going to set fire to the workshop, but we have a fire extinguisher ready just in case. So, as the title says, I'm going to actually do a piece I haven't done for quite a long while. I did one of these maybe, got to be 18 months, 2 years ago now. So basically, we're going to burn it to get all the low grain out of the. We're going to get all the soft grain out of the low grain, soft grain out of low grain, to create some texture, and then we're going to seal it, embellish it, and hopefully enhance that natural grain of the wood. So no texturing tools, just a good old flamethrower or a blowtorch, whatever you want to call it, and then some embellishing wax. So let's see how we get on with it. I've got a piece of ash on the lathe. It's got quite a wide grain in it, so hopefully it's going to give some nice texture, and we'll see how we go. I think I'm going to burn it around the rim as well, so then when we hollow out, we'll leave the inside natural and just hopefully get that burnt texture around the rim as well. But we'll see how we go. So while I start turning that, Nick's going to stop chopping the veg and welcome you all in, I believe.
Look, back by popular demand is my veg cutting. I'll have you know. So, good afternoon, everybody. I've lost me mousey put. Oh, there it is. So, good afternoon. Wood Wizardry by Colin. Len's Handcrafted Wood Signs. Rex B. What's cold in here? Gerard the French. Copperell Woodturning. Pete from Twisted Trees. Chris Dodds. Rob Makes Stuff.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Never heard him before.
Welcome.
Barry's Wood Creations. Robert Bortwood. We've got Copperell Woodturning. We've got Susie Swiss Woodturner. Lucy Bundy Rowe. Ivy Woodshed. Albert Dawson. Frederick. Rogan Newsguard.
Another new name. Welcome.
No, he was on here last week.
Oh,
Frederick.
welcome.
Yeah.
It's good that we didn't scare him off last week.
Benjamin's on as well.
Ben.
I think that's everyone in the chat. Yeah, it says there's a few on, but
well, welcome everybody.
Popped up to say hello.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming over and joining us. Right, so we just got that round. Just got to take a little bit more off it. It's got a bit of a cut line there, so one more pass. Using the 3/8 bowl gouge just to round this off.
Pete's just said he put the slow roast beef in the oven at 7 AM. Now in need of my veg chopper lesson to make it into a dinner.
So we're now round. So we're going to bring in and just face this off. So we're just going to keep the handle low. So we're going to actually use it as a cut, not as a scrape. So
Wooden Burls on as well.
Hi, Hayley.
Vinnie Charlton, James Pritchard.
Good afternoon, everybody. So I've just got a little bit of an indent in there. You can feel it jumping just a little tiny bit. Let's just get one more pass. Right, so we're using a nice slow cutting action. Just to finish that off. So then we're going to find our centre. Just find our centre in the middle there. So for the SC4 chuck that I'm using, I require a 54mm mortise. Do I use a mortise or do I do a tenon?
Kate Kitchen's on.
Hi Kate, how you doing? Should do a tenon because then I could turn it off. Yeah, I'll do a tenon. So for a tenon we need
A 20.
46mm. Around about there somewhere. Yeah, with a tenon we can turn that off. And then we can just scorch the bottom to match it all in. Bless you. So we're just going to remove some of this waste.
Ugh.
So we'll bring it onto that camera and bring that one in so you can see both ways. So you can see the cut coming in. So as I create my tenon, I'm going to try and get some shape to the bowl as well.
Dances with Aardvarks is on.
Don't try and speak when you're turning because you end up with a mouthful of shavings. So I'm going to go for just a general curve on this because I don't want nothing. I don't want to make it too fancy because I want the texture to be the feature of the bowl really.
Woodwork learners on.
Andy, not going to do an OG shape or anything like that. Just a basic rounded bowl. I'm not worried about refined cutting. I want to get my shape before I refine it. We'll just do a little bit for the tenon.
Lucy's got a question, bit off topic she said, but is there a brand of 3D filament you won't use?
To be honest, Lucy, I've only ever tried 3 different brands. I use Creality most of the time. And I've got the other ones, the other brands I use are, if I can find them, Evron, Eryone, and Sunlun, Sunlu. They're the only 3 brands I use which I've had good success with. And I've never tried any others because while they work, I don't want to keep messing around trying to get different settings. Right, so we've got our shape now. We're looking here for our shape. So we've got our shape. So all we're going to do now is a nice refining cut just to clean up any tear out we've got. It's not actually too bad, but we've just got a few.
Doug Miller would spin around on.
Right, Doug, just got a few tool marks in there. So we're just going to do a nice final cut, nice and gentle. I'm not going to open the face so much. I'm going to close the face a little bit. So we're only going to be getting some little strings off this now. And nice and slowly. To try and give me a nice smooth finish. Like so. That's much better. Much better. So we've just got to refine our tenon now. Oops.
Andy said thank you.
You're welcome. So we're just going to put a little bit more of a curve on there because we're just taking that back a little bit. So now we're just going to do that little fine cut. Actually, before we do that final cut, going to get our spindle gouge, and we want in this gap here, we want a nice tight transaction. Wrong way. In this gap here, we want a nice
That's a
tight
big word for you.
nice tight transaction line in there. Because if not, when we do our jaws up, it's going to try and push our piece away. So we're just going to come in there, nice tight corner in there. That'll be ready for our jaws. So now we're going to put it wrong way. So now we want just our final gentle cut. Try and get the best finish we can get off the tool. Just pick up the cut again. We should end up with a nice finish. No major tool marks. So we can actually start sanding that now. So we're going to sand that up to 400 grit quickly. So get some dust extraction on. So we're not going to touch our tenon because we don't need to worry about that. So we're going to use the 120 grit just to get rid of any little imperfections. And then we're gradually going to come up the grits. One thing I am going to do, I'm just going to take this edge in, because obviously we're going to bring that over a little bit. So we want to make sure we got room on there to burn our edge on. So we're going to bring in a parting tool. We're just going to take that in.
Lucy said I was being a bit aggressive with the carrots.
Who said that?
Lucy. Gerard said, sounds like I'm head tailing them. That's what I was doing. Pete's got a question. He said, what's the best way to get a small 6-inch bowl off your fingers after super gluing the cracks? Woodwork learner said, no wonder Steve behaves himself. That's how Nicky chops carrots.
Just do that again because we've still got a line in there. So just add a little bit more for that. Just double check that. That's better. Got rid of all the imperfections. So now we can sand it. So let's just sand that side quickly. Just take rid of that sharp corner. Don't want that on there. And now we can go quickly through the grits. The extraction back helps. Clocks go back next weekend, don't they?
I don't know, do they?
I think so. Or forward, I think it is, not back.
Spring forward, yeah.
Oops, wrong hole, Steve.
Ouch. Norman Greenwell's on.
Hi, Norman, how are you? Do. So final one. I can get a new pad off the stack, and then it gives me 2.
Len said he can't stay. Have a great day. He just popped in to say hi.
No problems, Len. Thanks for coming over. You have a good day, sir. Right, swig of my coffee. So that's all sanded up now to 400 grit. It's actually a nice bit of wood up. I know acetone will remove super glue. So, right, let's quickly get the hoover and hoover up all the swarf off of the lathe bed. Alright, so now we're ready to burn it. So let's get all the dust off of it. So the idea is that all this low grain, all the soft grain, should we say, not low grain, all the soft grain in there is going to get burnt out. And then we're going to brush it to get all that soft grain out. And then we're going to refill it all with embellishing wax. That's the idea. So what we need to do is we need to get a blowtorch and bring a board in. So blowtorch, just gently burn this out. So you'll see that the soft grain will burn a lot quicker than the rest of it. Good job we ain't got a smoke alarm in there. I'm just going to start it and then we're going to go over it again and give a good dosing. So we might have to go over this a couple of times after we've brushed out the soft grain, but we'll see how it comes up. Have a warning thing come up on the screen, shouldn't they? Please don't try this at home.
Frederick Day's on. He said, what sanding pads do you use? Mine don't say on. I was given some interface pads by Roy of Kingsford, but they don't work. He didn't think they would, though.
It didn't work. Well, I actually use Kingspor sanding pads. So
He said interface ones.
interface. No, I've got these are Kingspor ones.
No, interface ones supplied by Klingspor.
Yeah, and I'm using Kingspor sanding pads. Who is that?
Frederick Day.
Frederick. Message me, Frederick. Oh, look, I've got a fire.
Woodwork Learner said, have you done a brine when using that torch? No, that's bad advice. You can't. Organise a picture of the carrot chopper.
She don't like being on camera, mate. Right, so we've got a smouldering bit there, so we need to get some water on that and just put that out. Just get a bit of water on there. Put that out. Right, so what I'm going to do before I go any further, I'm going to get a wire brush and just gently, quite stinking here now, just gently brush that out. So what I'm going to be using is a brass brush rather than a wire brush, because a brass brush is a little bit softer. But what we're going to do is we're going to go with the grain. We're not going to go across our piece, we're going to go with a grain. So let's go with the grain, whatever way the grain's going to go. We're going to go that way. I'm not going to have me extraction when I do this, just in case there's a hot ember coming through there. We don't want that going into our dust extraction, because that would ruin our day.
Your day more than anyone's.
Yeah. So, well, the trouble is you wouldn't know straight away if it's smouldering in your extractor. That would take time to gradually catch light, and then you'd end up with a fire in your workshop, and you don't want that. But what we can do is, once we've brushed this out, we can just hoover up with a normal hoover, because the embers, if there's any embers, they should have gone out by then. So you can see that low grain coming through there, or soft grain, whatever you want to call it. So depending
Matthew
on...
Lawrence is on.
Hi Matthew, how you doing, mate? So depending on how deep you want the grain, it's depending on whether you go over it again. I'm going to have a look and see how we've got it. Just do this bit as well. This is the awkward bit.
Rob Makes Stuff said it's a pad that can relife the pad velcro if it's worn.
Or that I don't know. Who said that, Rob?
Rob Makes Stuff.
All right.
Rexby said, couldn't you be heating the carrots while flaming the wood? Help the boss.
So let's just clean that out there. Let's just get the air gun and blow that out. See what we've got. I'm just going to go that again, I think. Just gently, just so we can get a little bit more depth on that. You got to be careful when you
He
do
said he
this.
didn't buy them from Klingspor,
All right.
but he bought cheaper ones.
All right.
Enchanted Wood Designs is on.
Good
The wife would
afternoon.
go crazy if I used a torch.
think that'll do. So exactly the same, just brush along that grain. And you better, like I say, you're better off doing this with a brass brush rather than a wire brush, because if you use the wire brush, it perhaps scratch your timber, where a brass brush would just do that little bit softer.
A brass brush.
Brass brush. I ain't put my teeth in today.
Yeah, it smells lovely, Frederick. He said, did Steve have a burning desire to do this? I bet the workshop smells great.
Got the extractor on, in the other workshop, the dust extractor. So a lot of that should be sucked out. Right, so let's just do that other side. So I have gone across the grain that way because it's hard to get in there otherwise. So let's just get an air gun, all the loose bits off of it. Throw that onto the workshop for Nick.
What?
Nothing done.
What's the wood?
It's a piece of ash. Right, so that's the burning part. So you can either leave it like that, if you want to leave it like that, just give it some coat of,
I'll be back in a minute.
just add a coat of sand and sealer, and you could leave it like that. Then obviously once you turn the middle out, just turn your tenon off the bottom, and then you can either just gently burn that, or you can just leave a natural part in the middle, or you can embellish it now. But I'm going to actually make it black. I'm actually going to paint this with the intrinsic colours to make the whole piece black. So then the gold that we're going to put on it will stand out. So we're going to bring some intrinsic black in. Now you can put this on with a cloth, but I'm going to spray it on with an air gun. So where's the black? There's the black. So just give it a bit of a coat of black. If the black wants to come out. See how trouble with these pots. If you're not careful, the air breathing pipe or the hole gets blocked every now and again, and then the colour won't come out. Just clear that out. That's better. So we're going to start our lathe up slowly. We're just going to give this a coat of black. There we go. I'm not worried about the low grain or the soft grain too much. Got a nice even coat of black over it. That'll do. Should have worn gloves. Should wear gloves when you're using intrinsic colours. Look, rumour nail varnish now. So just wash my gun out. Make sure you wash your gun out properly when you're finished, because if not, it will clog up, especially being on water-based colours. Just use a little bit of meth just to flush through it, just to clean it out. Get rid of that. Hi John, how are you? Hope you're well. Just have a swig of my last of my coffee. Right, so we'll just quickly dry that off with a hot air gun. It won't take long to dry because the wood's warm anyway. So there we go, just dry that off. Then we're going to seal that. So we want a good sealing on there. So what we'll do is you can use wipe on. But I'm going to use spray on sealer to make sure we get a nice even coat on it. Cover my lathe up so I don't get covered in sand and sealer. So let's just give this a seal. So the reason I'm using a dye rather than a paint to colour is because if every coat I put on is obviously filling up the low grain. So we want to try and keep the low grain as low as, or the soft grain as low as possible. So when we come to texture it, it gives us that high definition look. So if I was to put like a black paint over it or an ebonizing lacquer, something like that, that would flood fill into the grain. So hence why we're putting a stain on it, and then we're going to seal it. So let's just dry that off. So a very dry bit of wood here, not so dry there, and there it's nearly right there. So we want a continuous sheen on it all over before we put our embellishing wax on, so we know that we've got it sealed. If not, the embellishing wax will try and disappear into the timber. So we're just going to give it another coat. So let's just dry that off, hot air gun. So you can see with putting the sand and sealer on it, it's now gone that much darker. It was like a browny black, where now it's black.
Sorry about that.
Right, they all thought you'd gone.
Oh, I had a little nap while I was in there. Where did we get to?
Right, so we're just going to denib that now, just to take any high spots off, because we'll give it a couple of coats of sand and sealer. So just turn lathe on low, just denib it, gentle brush over the top of it.
Said it adds nice colour.
So we're just going to give one more coat of sand and sealer, because you can see we've got a sheen there that's quite matte here, where it's very porous. So let's cover our lathe up again. I just broke the light. Just knocked the light off the ceiling.
John Mooney's on.
Right, John.
Wood Wizardry said, could you use ebonising spray for the same effect?
Oh, did he? No, no. Well, you could, but that'll flood fill the grain pattern. So let's give that one more coat. Concentrating more on the soft grain than the hard grain.
Did I say Ward Wilson's on? No, Ward Wilson's on. Really not.
I take it Ward Wilson's on, is he?
Yeah, Ward Wilson's on.
Welcome, Ward. How are you? Right, so that's the final coat of that. Just dry it off.
Oh, dear. Woodwork learner, nothing would surprise me whatsoever.
What's that?
Nikki, you should have heard what Steve was saying about you while you were gone.
Andy, you're supposed to keep it under your hat, sir.
Or was it a nice thing, like how he's going to treat me for tea tonight?
No.
You know, I give up an hour and a half, 2 hours on my Sunday to do this for him. And
I'm saving you
how
from housework.
grateful he is.
You're going to be doing housework.
It would learn and put all nice stuff, Nikki. Yeah. I doubt it very much.
Right, so you can see on there now we've got a continuous sheen all on the piece. So we've got a little bit more of a high gloss there, but we're not worried about that too much. So let's just gently denib that, just in case that's swollen the grain anymore with that final coat on. Nice and gently. There we go, so that's all sealed up now. So now we can apply our final piece, our embellishing wax. Get some gloves for this. So we can use, shall we use a different colour for a change? Shall we use silver rather than gold? Do you reckon or not?
Yeah.
Choose a different colour.
Go for it.
Let's be adventurous. Let's use silver.
Yeah. Adventurous and your name don't go in the same sentence, babe.
So we're going to use silver for a change rather than gold. I always use gold. And I used gold the other night as well on our demo, so let's use silver. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we work this right into the grain. Making sure we cover our whole piece.
That's hard. What I said to Steve, have his carrots glazed in Hampshire Sheen products. I just went in the house and I thought, I can't smell burning. It's on my clothes. I'm in the next room.
Have a shower before you go then.
I ain't going out if you ain't paying.
Looks like we're staying in enough.
Beans on toast again.
Yeah, I like beans on toast. Good for you. Lots of protein. Right, so make sure we rub this right in. As you can see. So now we need to come around and do the front.
Would wish I can't say purple goes great with black. I'm even taking tips from Roy.
Speaking of
Gerard
Roy,
said bronze would have been nice. Wivey said citrus burnishing oil and microcrystalline wax gives a nice shiny glaze. Could use copper for a change, said Frederick.
why would you put burnishing oil and then put microcrystalline over the top of it? The idea of burnishing oil is to give you a satin finish.
We
Might as
did
well
put
just,
laughing emoji on it.
I was going to say, you're better off just putting sand and sealer on and putting microcrystalline over it. Right, so that's the waxing. We're not going to get rid of that at the moment, just in case we've got to give it a second coat. You could use copper for a change. I could.
Said that.
Too late now. Right, so just gently burnish this off, or clean this off. I do like the gold though. The gold is very nice colour.
I like gold too.
Yeah, but that's just a woman thing, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. So we're going to check it, make sure there's no bits that we've missed, which it doesn't look like there is. And then we're just going to get a clean bit of tissue and go over it one more time, just to make sure we've removed all the unwanted wax. So just get rid of those bits. Let's get a clean bit of tissue. So there we go.
I know, Frederick, that's all we get when Steve cooks, though.
What's that?
Beans on toast.
Yeah.
So it's good for you.
Cheese on toast, omelette. Right, so
You
that's
can open a tin of soup.
I can. I love soup. Right, so that's the bottom all finished, so we'll flip that now. We've got that coming around the edge onto the front there. So we're going to leave a nice rim on there to so that's come around the corner, and then that'll go into a natural inside of the bowl. So let's bring this up. We're going to bring back our bowl gouge, just clean out all this unwanted mess here. So let's go onto that camera so you can see a bit better. Let's just stop that a second. So right, a little bit of speed. Start nibbling this away.
Doug Miller's got to go. Said he'll watch the rest later.
See you later,
Take
Doug.
care, Doug.
Thanks for coming over, mate. Change to a sharp bit of the gouge.
Lucy's eating caramel coffee matchmakers.
You'll get fat, Lucy.
Frederick said, can you spray acrylic lacquer over it or does it affect the wax?
No, leave it 24 to 48 hours and then you can spray lacquer over the top of it. Let the solvents evaporate out of the wax first and then you can spray lacquer over the top of it. Whether it be acrylic or cellulose. So now we need to work out how wide we're going to have our rim. Depending on how thin you want the bowl, I'm going to come back perhaps another 10mm off of that because I don't want it really thick. So maybe there somewhere. We'll have a look at that. That might still be a little bit too thick. Yeah, maybe. So let's just take a bit more off of there, another 5mm. Look at that. So that's much better. So now we want that consistent thickness all the way through now. So pick up our cut and then start taking this waste that. So because there's quite a wide, because it's about 8 inches across, I'm going to leave the center core in there. I'm not going to start vibrating. I'm just going to gradually work that down. I'm going to stop it, check my wall thickness, make sure we've got a consistent wall going through. Now's the time to alter it, because if we go too thin, you're going to get chattering and it'll be too late to adjust it then. So I've just got a white line in there. Don't know if you can just see that. Just got a white line in there, which is a tool mark. So we're just going to pick up that cut. So let's start taking this down to our core. So just remember you've got to take out the bottom yet for your tenon. So you don't want to be going too thin.
Rob Make Stuff's got to go. Grandad duties to attend to.
See you later, Rob. Thanks for coming over, mate. So again, we're going to stop it, check it. So that's about equal all the way through there. Just got a little bit of a ridge there. So we'll just take that out. So we're just going to come back, rub the bevel, find that ridge, and then just follow it around. So now we're going to start taking some of this waste out of here. So check our thickness. So we don't want the bottom thicker, but don't forget we've got to take that tenon off yet. So we don't want a green nose. That's perfect. So now we can just gradually wiggle this out. Take this middle bit out of here. So just back cut this a little bit. As long as you don't catch your wing coming forward, you're quite safe to back hollow, or back cut, sorry, not hollow. So we're just going to finish that edge off. Just gently close our gouge, just to catch that little nib. So we've got a little bit of a hump in the middle there where we've come up. So we're just going to clean that off. That's much better, much better. So we've just got a few little ridges in there. We can get away from that with using our our scraper. This is a negative rake scraper, so it shouldn't give us any tear out, but we're going nice and gentle. Because the bowl's quite thin, if we push on it too hard, it's going to flex. And we'll end up with chatter lines. And just nice and gently. We'll check that. Just got a little nibble in the middle there. But other than that, good. So just come underneath that little nib and just gently lift up, just to take that out. Nice little whispers coming off of there, which is nice. Even with a negative rake scraper, you can get some nice little whispers off of it. Right, so where we have our shape of our bowl all cut out on the inside. So what we need to do now is we need to sand that. Can't find my drill. Where's my drill? Is there a green drill in there? Oh yeah.
No.
You're very quiet. You fell asleep.
Yep. There's nothing going on, mate. You've not must have sent everyone else to sleep.
So we're going to get the extraction on. Just gently sand this up. No, not like that. We're not. Just check it. Make sure we ain't got no marks in it. And then just gently got the grits. Oh, camera's gone out of focus.
Camera's out of focus, Steve.
Oh, it's no good telling me when I've already found out, is it?
Pete's not asleep, but typing's hard with bowl glued to your fingers.
I think that paint might have bled through that. Got some black spots and I don't know if that's colour or whether that's actually in the wood.
Yeah, Pete's probably got some acetone for his false nails. Secret's out now, Pete.
Very nice, very nice. Nice bit of wood that. Alright, so let's just zoom that out a little bit. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to sand and seal that. So this time we're going to use wipe on sand and sealer. We don't want to be getting it over our painted bit because it will take the colour off. We want to try and keep it so it's issue. Do you know what? I don't know why I bothered buying one of these squirty bottles. Thought that'd be a better idea. Obviously not.
Obviously not. Can't be answering your own questions, mate.
Let's try again. That's better. So again, we're going to make sure we cover all that soft green. So we get good coverage on
Pete
it.
said he can't use nail polish remover this weekend. Lisa's home. She'll catch him.
So just blow all this dust off of there. Just let that dry off and then we'll give it another coat. Just a light coat this time.
Ruby's on.
Hi Ruby, how are you? So just gently denib that. So now we're going to go over top of that with a finishing wax. So Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. Just to finish that off. So just to give it a nice finish inside.
She said she's well, thanks, and that looks good, Steve.
Thank you, Ruby. So we're just going to buff that off. It should leave us a little bit of a shine behind. So you could put a second coat over that if you want to, but I'm not going to because I'm quite happy with that. So what we need now is just to wipe off all the dust that we generated through turning the middle out, and then we need to flip it and just take the tenon off the back. So other than that,
Did you put food safe stuff on that?
Hampshire Sheen High Gloss is food safe.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, it's food safe. So basically that's the bowl. You could leave the foot on there if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to turn it off and we're just going to leave a natural bit in the middle there. So let me get my cold jaws out because you can guarantee they're going to need adjusting. As they always do. Let's get this chuck off of here. Take that chuck off. Get the cold jaws. Oh, they're cold. You can guarantee they're going to want adjusting. Oh yeah. Let's get an Allen key. Just quickly move these up. And we'll measure what that's for. So that's for a 120mm bowl. And we've got a 190. We want to be 2 holes back, I reckon. So it came out of there. I'll do opposites and just see. There, 1, 2. Right. 4, 4. So I just measure across there and just check. No, that's not big enough. What's with back there? So maybe another one. Always makes me laugh. These you can never pick it up twice and have them in the same place. Let's check that. What did we say it was? 190. Still not enough. Behind me, go. All right, it's got to be there now. That's the kiddie. Right. So we're 5 from the top. I fell asleep. What's the matter? No answer?
What?
What's the matter?
I just sneezed.
All right. Bless you.
Copper Woodturning says he loves his cold jaws, just can't go over 600 RPM.
Yep. But do you need to turn over that? You need to turn the tenon off, aren't you? So you really need to be. I'd have read the numbers on the cold jaws that I stamped on it. Look, 200. It's got 200 on there, so I could have just set it up to 200 rather than messing around. Never mind. Right, so last one.
I'd have just left it on.
Right. So what we do now is just get our bowl in there. Gently nibble that down. Just be careful when you do this, because I found the other day I was doing one, and I had a piece of tissue paper wedged between the bowl and the cold jaws, and it knocked it right out of shape. So I had to take it out. But anyway, but like I say, you're only going slow, so you don't really need to be going massively fast. So turn the lathe down, like we said, no more than 600 RPM. So we're going to be pushing into our cold jaws, so it makes sure that we're pushing the piece into the jaws rather than dragging it out. We're just going to gently nibble this away. And because we're only going slow, you've got to really compensate your turning speed to the speed of the lathe. Wind that up a little tiny bit. Too much now.
So Copper Owl said, I love my cold. Oh, no, not him. In Childhood Design said, I still want a set. I'm a cheapskate. James Pritchard said, I like the look of the Longworth cold jaws, otherwise fiddly. Colin said he's got a smaller set. Frederick said the metal's very soft on these cold jaws. I'll strip the thread by using a drill to undo the screws.
You're doing it too tight, mate. If that's the case, they need to be nipped up. They need to be tight. You can helicoil them if you need to. I just gently nibble this away. This is when you hope you don't go through the bottom.
Which means Webcom said he got some rollerblade wheels the other day to make a steady rest spin. A steady rest. Spun them to check they run okay and they light up. Lewis is on, Klondike Craftsman.
Hello, how you doing, mate? So just a slight concave on that, just so it sits on the edge. So there we go. So what I'm going to do now is just going to quickly sand that up. So let's just get a sanding pad. Just gently rotate our lathe. Put some extraction on. I'm just gently going to sand that. We're going to take that up to 240. So gently up to 240. Just put a little bit of wipe on sand and sealer on there just to seal it up. So it doesn't look quite round because obviously you've got the low grain there and the high grain there. So it doesn't look quite round, but there's not a lot you can do about that. I could have coloured it in a little bit. I just gently scorched it, but I thought it'd be nice just leave it natural. If you want to, you can put your maker mark in the bottom of that. So then just finish off by bringing back our cloth with our wax on it and just put a little bit of wax on it. And then just gently buff that off. Let's finish our piece. And that should be.
Lewis said there was a big ice storm there last night. Trees
Nice.
look like glass this morning.
Nice. So that's that. So a simple texturing bowl without any texturing tools. So let's get rid of these cold tools and then we'll have a gander at it.
Pete said gold line with the paintbrush, Steve.
Gold line. Oh, what, in there? Yeah, could do. Yeah, could do. Well, anyway. So there we go, just a basic bowl, textured bowl with no texturing tools. But no, it's nice. It just gives you that nice subtle look. Something
Lewis
different.
just said, is there laser pointing at the corridors or am I seeing red dots?
Is there? No, there's not a laser point. You're just seeing red dots, Lewis. So yeah, just nice textured bowl. Just gives it a nice textured feeling. Other than just something plain, and we've got the nice natural finish on the inside.
Lucy's got to go.
See you, Lucy.
And Charlotte Wood Design said he saw it too.
Well, I don't know where that
Susie
came from.
said looks lovely.
Unless it was from the camera, but I don't think so. Right, so let's.
Graham Brown's on said very nice, Steve.
Thank you very much. Get these cameras off, lights off even. Let's come back onto there.
Wooden Bell said very nice, Steve. Copperell said beautiful bowl. Enchanted Wood Design said turned out nice.
So just saying simple. Like I say, it's actually quite a nice feel. Very nice feel to it. You don't need no texturing tools. Awesome. Just natural on the inside. So anyway, guys.
I think it might have been the infrared on the camera. Right, I'm going to have to go. I'm sorry. If I don't get to say goodbye when I come back, I'll speak to you all later. Take care. Bye.
Right, so with that, guys, thank you so much for coming over and joining us. Hope you've enjoyed. Something else just to try. It's always nice to try different things. And like I say, don't need any major tools. All you need is something to burn with. Oh, and obviously make sure you cleared up your workshop so you don't set light to your workshop. That's always a bonus. So other than that, have a go. If you have a go, stick it on social media and let's see it all. Don't forget Terry's on tonight. He makes his return after his 6-week-long cruise. So hopefully you'll go over and check Terry out. I don't know if he's on at 7 or 8. But if you click on the link that I'm sure Peter's just put in, 7 o'clock. There you go. Peter's just put it in 7 o'clock. So make sure you go and check out Terry at 7 o'clock. Other than that, guys, I will see you next Friday evening for our Friday Night Live with something hopefully a bit interesting. Not sure what I'm going to be doing yet, but I'm sure I'll try and find something. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming over and watching. I will get some pictures of this on social media and let you guys have a proper look at it. So other than that, guys, speak to you soon. Have a great weekend. Speak to you soon. Take care and bye for now. See you later, guys. Bye.
That's all, folks.